Okay. Hey, what's up, everybody? Brown Liquor and Cigars, and we are back. We got Carlos Kendrick here. What's up, fellas?
What's up?
I love y'all.
What y'all got going on? Kendrick, what you got going on in your life?
Trying to start my own thing, my own business, working and all that good stuff. Out here grinding.
Yeah. What type of woman you need?
No woman right now. I don't need no woman.
No woman?
No, I'm fine with where
So
my
you're
life
not
is
dating?
right now. No,
Not at all.
not at all.
You ain't went on a date.
No.
Ladies, if y'all out there and y'all listen to this here, y'all post in the comments.
Not only send the picture. Send the picture.
We
went on a
know
date,
you don't take
send the
pictures.
picture.
We know you don't take
that.
pictures.
What?
We know you don't take pictures.
Yeah.
We know you don't take pictures. So, no, don't send no picture because you don't have a picture of you and him out. He makes sure that you have no pictures to post.
If we go out, and it depends on if I was to go out and who she was, I would take a picture.
So those you haven't taken a picture of, you saying they're not
Not the
worthy of a
one.
picture?
I didn't say that.
You did kind of say that.
They have a picture. If I went out with them, they have a
Not
picture.
they have a picture.
They-
Be like,
if I went out with you got a picture.
If y'all took one.
Probably more than you know they look. Hey, somebody sent me that.
you serious?
Somebody sent that to me.
Sent what to you?
The blurry picture. Like you ain't seen the meme where it says when she asked me to take a picture,
Right.
post her on my social
it's
media,
like
and
the
that
little
little blurry picture. You see it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So what's going on with you, Carlos?
I'm kind of same boat. Yeah, just working, doing my book stuff. I'm not focused on relationship right now.
Not at all. No dates. No selfies.
No selfies.
Okay. So, fellas, today.
No. Wait.
Uh-oh.
What about yourself?
No dates, sir. I mean, I wouldn't have asked y'all that. No dates. But what's going on with me? Just released the tune. That's about it.
Yeah, congratulations.
That's about it. That's it.
Hey, go check it out.
He
It's
didn't let it be.
That's about it.
Download it.
Fire. Yes, sir.
So, today we talking secrets, fellas. We are talking secrets. Yeah, we talking secrets. Kendrick, you have any secrets?
Where are you going with this?
Do you have any secrets?
Not right now.
You don't have any secrets?
Nothing that I'm finna disclose outside of what I've already talked about with y'all.
Carlos, you have any secrets? No, we're not talking secrets, y'all.
I was like,
what?
what?
Expressions.
I was like, I couldn't see.
Bro, I'm finna say I'm gone, bro. I'm finna walk out.
You done. I was like,
We are
what?
talking.
I just
We are talking friends in relationships. Do y'all get y'all friends and family involved in your relationship? Or have y'all ever done that?
I have before. And seeing what it caused, then that made me learn not to do that.
Yeah.
Because I think, especially if it's a relationship where maybe you kind of teeter-tottering, like you together one minute and then you're not together, or if you vent what you don't like about the chick that you with, then what ends up happening is the friends, and I think especially family, but friends too, they get protective over you and you get over it. And, maybe you back good the next day with your mate and, they giving her the side eye Thanksgiving and she wondering why, what's going on.
Yeah.
But, they don't get over that as quickly as you do. So that's the danger, I'd say, of maybe sharing some things, is that not only does it create mess, but then it also makes it harder for that person's interaction.
Yeah. So, Kendrick, have you ever involved a family member or friend in a situation?
Absolutely. I have, and similar to Carlos, it didn't make the situation better. It actually made the situation a lot worse. And it wasn't until I got that person or those people out of the relationship that things begin to get better. I think a lot of times we involve people because of the mere fact that we not only we basically want somebody to validate that which what we're feeling, what we're saying, and we want that person to tell us that the other person is wrong, when in fact they may be right.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful of that. And that was me in a nutshell.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this here. So both of y'all are single now. Both of you guys are single. Both have been married. Do you think you guys are qualified as friends to give a married man advice? Do you think you're disqualified now because you can be perceived as having a failed marriage to give a married guy advice as a friend?
I would say I don't want to give anyone advice, not because of the mere fact of a failed marriage or anything like that. I just don't want to push a person to do something that I would do. I prefer you to think things out for yourself, write your own thoughts down, and come up with your own decision on which way you want to go in the road.
Yeah.
I don't want to, because I don't want it to come back and it be said, you said this, you said that.
So you wouldn't give advice?
No, I don't want to, no.
So
Oh, wow.
if a married friend came to you and he needed your advice, you wouldn't give advice?
I would only listen. I'm
Wow.
not giving advice, because at the end of the day, that's your marriage. That's you, your spouse. That's y'all. It's you two. I'm not in that marriage.
Right.
And there were plenty of times where I would say something as far as what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling that would only be half truths. Because at the end of the day, that's what you're really going to get. You're literally going to get half truths. You're not going to get the full truth. That's what you get.
So for me, yeah, I would give the advice if they ask for it. That's my thing is, if you come to me and ask for advice, I'm gonna give you my real thoughts. But I'm not gonna typically just offer what I think. And even if I do give advice, I'm always gonna preface it with, well, this is what I would do if it was me, because I don't want to put myself in somebody else's marriage. So I don't, and of course we always only hear it from one side, so we're not in a position where we're seeing the whole situation, I say, of the marriage. But I just want to say this too: it's a whole lot of folks living in failed marriages. So just because you got divorce papers, guess what? Some of y'all that's married, it's failed, and you just haven't come to that realization. So okay. I just want to say that.
So
too.
let me just say
Thank
this
you,
here.
Carlos.
Let me say this here. So the reason I said about you guys having a failed marriage and giving advice is because I think sometimes when advice is given and it's given and the other spouse doesn't like the advice that was given, the first thing they want to say, how the hell can he give advice and he can't keep his own marriage together? That's the perception of it. And not saying that you guys have had a failed marriage, because sometimes every marriage or every divorce is not out because the marriage failed. Sometimes people should have never been married, so they realize this and they get divorced. But there are people, not just single divorced guys, but there are some people who believe single people or single friends shouldn't give advice to people who are in a relationship. So I had to use the whole marriage thing to make it more applicable to you guys, because you guys can give marriage advice because you've been married before. So I had to
Yeah.
say that. So do you guys believe, do you have issues with, if you have a girl, do you have issues with her having single friends?
No. Not at all.
No. Whoever your friend is, let them be your friend. All I ask is that you keep our business private. I don't want your friends in my business, and I'm going to do the same, because at the end of the day, that shows there's a level of respect there. You respect our relationship.
But everybody tells somebody.
Yeah.
True, but tell a diary. Don't tell a person. A diary ain't never told a secret unless somebody stole it and read it.
But we need that voice to speak back to us. That's why we go to people. A sounding board.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you. Put in the
Put in a diary.
or a stranger. I think sometimes strangers are the best people.
Complete strangers.
Because they have
that we don't know.
Yeah, they have no reason to go back and spread it. And that scenario, ooh, I got hot just listening to that. That scenario you were saying about if the chick comes, I want to address that real quick, because if the friend,
tell them, bro.
If the friend
Pop
comes
the
to
vein.
me in confidence, and that's my friend, and they come to me for advice, and I tell them, again, I'm prefacing it with, this is what I would do. Oh, I better not hear your spouse. I better not be they better not come to my face talking about, oh, well, Carlos shouldn't have said this, because at that point, now I'm about to go off on your spouse. Like, I'm about to jump over you as the friend.
That's what you gonna get.
What you mean? That's what I'm gonna get.
The moment you put yourself in a marriage, that's what you get.
Well, but I'm saying,
you welcome that. You got to be mad at yourself, Carlos.
no. But if they came to, I'm not
No,
freely
you
giving
don't be
advice.
mad at himself. You be
Yeah.
mad at the friend.
Exactly, but that too.
But Carlos should never said nothing to begin
But he
with.
wouldn't be able
came
to
to
say
me in
nothing if the
confidence.
friend didn't come to him.
Yeah. If
But
the
still,
friend
you don't
comes
say-
to you in confidence,
And then the friend
you-
went back and told the wife.
right, then you need to
what he
control
said.
your wife.
But you
at
know
that
why the
point.
friend go back and tell? Take
Why?
the heat off himself.
Oh, true.
Oh my God! Well,
That's
sure, they do.
why. And all you did, Carlos, was fed into it. So you don't say nothing.
I'm trying to help my friend. I'm just
But
trying to get them.
you helping him by taking the heat off him and putting it on yourself.
You
All
gave
I-
him away.
You gave him away
All I
out
gotta say
with
is,
your bad advice because you done had a failed marriage.
you got a failed marriage. That's why your marriage
all
didn't
I
work.
gotta say is, friends, beware. Because if I give you some advice and any of your wives come at me, it ain't gonna be pretty for neither one of y'all. That's all I gotta say. Because I'm gonna point it back at you, and I'm gonna say, well, they came to me and asked me what I would
Just say they cheating.
That'll direct it back to them quick, right?
But yeah, so that's how it
I didn't
always
mean
goes.
to digress,
Because a
but-
lot of people believe like people who are not in relationships should not give advice to people in relationships.
Yeah.
Do y'all agree with that, Kendrick?
I'm with Carlos. Use a complete stranger.
But what if they single?
Oh Lord.
I don't care. But use a complete stranger.
They're not biased.
Yeah, use a
Yeah.
complete stranger that you're not gonna friend later on. And what I mean by that, don't use somebody that you're gonna want to be
Yeah,
friends with
down the line.
down the
You
line.
better use your EAP on your
you. Yeah.
job. Use your EAP on your job.
Please.
Employee Assistance Program.
Now, this to me, I'll just say out of the two, I think that if you have somebody who has never been in a relationship at all and they're single versus someone who maybe has had a failed marriage, maybe they didn't have 2 failed marriages. To me, I would be more inclined to take the advice of the person that's been in a failed marriage, because at least they're giving you advice from a standpoint of an experience they've actually been in versus
What if they
Some-
had a problem in the marriage?
well, hey, I mean,
And
at least
then
they give you.
denial.
I mean, well, you can tell, like, based on their response, like, if they're trying to be one-sided or biased. But if you never been in a situation, that's like saying, like, oh,
But that's like if you went to Kendrick and you were married. And you say, man, she ain't putting out. Kendrick gonna say, go break somebody else's back.
Bro, that's why I'm not giving you advice.
But if I come to you, and then it's free range for you to say whatever you want to say. If I come to you with that.
If you come to me with something like that Unc just said, Carlos, I'm going to literally look at you and say, I have nothing to say.
Okay, and that's fine. If there's that's fine.
Hold on. How is it that you're willing to give advice to a friend, but when your family and friends got involved in your situation, it made it worse? That doesn't make sense to me. No. Carlos, that doesn't make sense to me. I'm lost.
But everybody want to be that person with the wise words.
Yeah.
To help you get your problem better. We want to be a good friend to you, so we're going to give you
if you come to me advice. And
a fool continues to talk. A wise man listens.
But if they're asking you, I need advice, then
a fool continues to talk. A wise man listen. In other words, if my friend come to me for advice, all I can do is listen. I can't tell you what to do. I can listen. I have no words, no advice for you.
Damn, that's kind of sad. I mean, now
that's real.
Now I do agree. You should listen. Now, if somebody's telling you something, you shouldn't be. Oh, if it was me, blah blah blah. But if they specifically come to you and say, "Hey, what would you do?" or "Tell me, blah blah blah," you're not gonna tell them anything.
I can only listen to you. I can't. No, because at that moment you put yourself in a situation.
No, they put you in it.
And all you did was took the bait. And you got in it. If two people are in a relationship, two people are in a marriage, they got to work that out. 1 + 1 = 2.
But you have to talk to somebody.
1 + 1 = 3.
Even if you go to counseling, you're putting somebody else in the...
You putting in somebody that's non-biased.
Okay, that's all goes back to the stranger
thing. So if
thing.
Your friend puts you in it, you're biased. You're going to be biased no matter... You can never say you're
depending on
unbiased.
I'm not going to be... I've told my friends some stuff that actually probably makes them look worse than they were the friend. So I'm not going to necessarily be biased because it's my friend. No.
I don't agree.
I'm not. I'm going to try my best to give them the real truth regardless of them being my friend.
Man, why you look like that? Like, seriously.
I'm letting the fools talk, and I'm the wise man. Listen.
What the hell? Dirty dog. Not you, the wise man.
Damn. Oh, my God. Oh. And we sound like fools, too. We literally sound like fools.
So I was letting the fools talk.
Look, we going back and forth. We sound like fools.
I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it.
We sound like fools. Oh my God, man.
So I was the wise man.
Oh, God.
I was just listening to the fools talk. I was listening to y'all talk. I was applying your principle, Kendrick.
And we sound like fools going back and forth.
So, Kendrick, I just find it hard to believe that you would not give any advice.
Yeah,
not saying that your advice is not good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if a friend came to you, you wouldn't give any advice?
I can't.
And and I think that's commendable to you because you're basing it off of your own experiences and what has happened. You've seen the end result when you get friends involved in it. So I think that's really good.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't see why Carlos willing to give advice.
And that's why I say you put that disclaimer out there. This is what I would do. I'm not saying this is what you should do.
But you can't get mad at the wife if she be like, well, hey, Carlos got a failed marriage. Who is he to give advice?
Yes, I can, because you need to tell her to shut her mouth, and she don't need to be coming to me saying anything.
Hold on. Hold on. So you tell the friend, tell your wife to shut her mouth. Bro, if you tell me something like that, Carlos, I'm gonna slap this. I'm gonna slap.
No, but
out of
because
you, bro.
my thing is, if you come to me in confidence as a friend, why are you going back and even
It's
telling
never
your wife?
Why you gonna slap him and his wife disrespected him?
because
Right.
that's my wife. That's my equal.
But your wife is out of line.
she's not out of line.
And if she
You
out of line
invited-
and you don't address
You
her,
invited him
in
into
front-
your relationship.
it's your fault. You're the common denominator.
Carlos, that's all the more reason you don't get involved.
That's why you give the disclaimer. And
That's
say,
no disclaimer,
it
Carlos.
is, yes.
Oh my God.
Okay, so y'all see what happens right here in this podcast. What happens when friends invite another friend into your relationship? So I do
I'm not gonna
agree.
get mad at you if you give me advice. Because that's your advice that you gave
I'm
me.
not gonna give it to you because at the end
Well,
of
I
the day,
get. I know now.
Fools.
Oh, what?
Silence. Silence. Y'all are going back and forth about this here. Y'all both are passionate about
Yeah.
not giving advice and giving advice. Okay, y'all got two different methods to doing it.
Now, I typically don't give advice, so I just want to put that out there.
oh, now you don't get. Oh
No,
my God.
No. What I'm saying is, if you come to me, that's different. But I could see the train wreck and see it about to happen, and I'd be like, I don't say nothing. But if you go out of your way to ask me my opinion, then that's different. And like I said, your wife better not come in my face talking about, because at that point you kind of being messy. Because why would you go back and tell her, "Oh, I told Carlos that we."
Okay, now, but let's talk about that. What do y'all
Yes.
think about when spouses come to the person?
As a unit?
No, like this situation. Kendrick gives advice to you.
Uh-huh.
You go tell your girl what Kendrick told you. Y'all done made up and everything. Now y'all back together. Y'all cool. You and your girl. And you tell her Kendrick said this. So what she does is she goes to Kendrick the next time. She see Kendrick and say, "Hey, I heard you said X, Y, and Z."
In a good way. Like,
No.
can you give us more advice?
No, you gave him some bad advice. And I heard you say this here, and you need to keep your nose out of our business. Kendra, what do you think about that?
I gotta respect it. I really do. I can't get mad at that woman for that, or that spouse, or whomever. I have to literally respect it.
I would go berserk.
That's why we're different, Carlos. That's why we're fools with failed marriages. What you going berserk for? Like,
Because
you
that's-
put your. We're going back to the same argument.
I just
You put yourself
because you
in
didn't
it.
ask to be in that.
You
they
did.
came to you.
The moment you open your mouth.
No.
Carlos,
No.
you might well get in the bed
Kendrick-
with him and sleep between them.
But Kendrick
No.
is that dude. Based off of what Kendrick is saying, if Kendrick went on Jerry Springer and his girlfriend cheated on him with another dude, Kendrick would be the dude that would run out on the stage trying to fight the man and not be mad at his girl.
Yeah, I could see you doing that.
That's.
See, I wouldn't do that.
I'm gonna do two
Because
things.
the
I
girl
wouldn't do
is
that.
the one
She's the
in
problem.
the fault.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
I'm
the
gonna do
problem.
two things. I'm gonna leave her.
Okay.
That's a given. She did that.
Well,
given.
yeah.
I'm gone.
Of course, yeah.
Number two, I'm gonna beat him up.
But why? He might not even knew y'all was together.
If he
depending
didn't
on
know,
what she said.
if he didn't know, then
But
totally
he's
different
his
story.
friend. He's the best friend that gave him the advice.
Oh.
That's different. I'm gonna beat him up
But why?
because he know we together. He the best friend that gave the advice. He know we together. I listened to the scenario.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kenny, you think if she came to you and told you you stuck your nose in our business, you would say she had the right to do that?
Yes,
I wish she would.
And the reason I say that is because I gave my friend that advice, and I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have done it.
Even if they came to you and asked for it.
Shouldn't have done it. I might as well get in the bed with him and sleep with him at night.
Wow.
I'm a part of their marriage now. I'm part of their relationship. I'm
So
giving
when
advice.
did you stop giving advice?
I don't think I've ever just gave advice.
Wow.
That's not And
So if you don't believe you should give advice, why do you go ask for advice?
I was immature at the time and seeking validation, seeking to have my point proved.
Kendrick, we've been doing good today.
Oh, that
We've been doing
validation
good,
crept up.
Good today.
That's what I wanted. I was trying to get somebody in my corner to root me on. You right, they're wrong. No, I shouldn't have been doing that. But that's what I was doing. You know.
So to your point, what if your friend came to you and I know you don't give advice, but I'm just saying, if you gave advice that maybe was siding with their wife, then is that good advice because you're not being biased? You know what I mean? Is it?
But I still feel as though
Or you just wouldn't say nothing?
you still at some point you're gonna side with the wife, right? You're gonna what your wife is telling you is right. But you also have to think you're dealing with half truth. You're not dealing with full truth in the whole advice situation because it's two sides to every story. Well, it's three sides to every story. His,
Hers, and the truth.
and what
If
you
that's the
did-
case, nobody would get advice on anything.
And that's all the more reason why them two need to work it out rather than you, them two, and whomever. Because you also got to think if he or she is coming to their friend, they're going to other people too. Because that's what I did. I'm just gonna because the more people I got to make me feel like I'm right, the better my argument is, and I'm gonna stand on that no matter what. You can say whatever you're gonna say. That's what it was.
Right.
You know, so at that point, then they take that and you give your friend this advice, they take it, and next thing you know, here it is. Well, Carlos said this, Unc said this, Jane said this, they all agree with me. So now you got the army fighting against one person. Guess what's gonna happen? That one person is gonna feel like you're beating me up now. I'm being teamed up against. So guess what they gonna do? They gonna go get them an army. Then now it's you, and that don't cause division. A whole bunch of nonsense. How do I know that? Because it happened.
Well, Kendrick, that was
I
a
just-
little flaw in your story.
What's the flaw?
Oh.
You said
The buzzer going off?
Carlos agreed with me. Unc agreed with me. That's where the flaw came in.
Oh.
That's where the flaw came in. Unc, more than likely, is not going to agree with you. So Carlos and Jane did, but not Unc.
I just say don't mention their names.
That was the flaw. That was the flaw.
I wouldn't.
Hold on.
That's
you
just me.
But you mentioned the names to give your argument that much more of a punch.
And see, for me, I guess that's just
But
something I
again,
never did.
And that's where you become the problem in the situation.
Yeah, because
you should never, ever.
I'm not going to
if
put out that
you.
person.
You then put your friends in it.
Yeah.
When you mention their names, because just like your friends is going to have a problem with your spouse, now your spouse is going to have a problem with your friends. And these are people you invited into your situation. They didn't just walk into your situation and start giving you advice.
That's why you don't go solicit it.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I agree.
Say that again.
I agree. I do. Yeah.
But
I
if
mean,
you solicit it
but
and you ask me about it, and
give you my
depending on
real
if I
thing.
care about you
Yes.
as a person,
You gonna give advice?
I would give advice.
yeah, me too. I would.
I would. But I would try to give the best advice based on the information provided
given
to me.
Yeah, exactly.
And most times, if I have a friend that's coming to me and saying, like, say if I have a friend that come to me and they say, well, I slept off on my wife and she is not putting out at home and this here, I'm not going to say, oh, I understand that you slept off on your wife because she's not doing that. I'm going to say, you're wrong for doing what you're doing. I'm going to call out what I believe is the truth. And if you need to reconcile with your wife or you need to leave your wife, that would probably be the advice I would give in a situation like that.
So let me ask you this: would you tell that person to tell their spouse what they did?
No, I wouldn't do that.
That's not. If you're gonna give the advice, you got to give it all.
No, I would tell them they would need to work it out with their spouse.
They need to tell everything.
However, whatever they're working out with
Yeah.
their spouse is, that's up to them. But I would tell them they need to cut off the side piece and they need to work it out with their wife. And whatever that is, whatever working out is, if that means you're going to be transparent and be open and honest with your wife, then you be open and honest with her. But I would tell them, get rid of that extra.
You can't reconcile without truth.
Well, that's up to them.
But that's not up to you to tell what their truth is going to be.
Right.
So would you tell in that?
I agree on that. I mean,
scenario, would you tell your friend to tell?
No, I would say they're wrong, and I would say, and this is why I say that.
He on the fence.
No, I'm not on the fence, but I'm just saying, this with those kind of situations, this is what can happen. You know, people, I think everybody has buttons, and I wouldn't ever want to be responsible for setting off somebody's button for something tragic. So, like, let's say I tell my friend, "Oh yeah, you should go tell so and so that you did XYZ." Okay, he go and tell her, and what if, I mean, God forbid, she hauls off and kills him? Then how could you live with yourself knowing that you were the catalyst to tell that person to do that? So again, like I said, you know what's right and what's wrong. So I would say you do need to do the right thing. You need to fix it, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not going to say you should do this to fix it. Because honestly, I mean, you telling them to go tell her, that might not even fix it. I mean, so yeah, you told the truth on that, but that doesn't mean that that's going to reconcile anything necessarily.
It's not so much reconciling, but it's living in truth, in which we all should live.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
But we also don't want to live as cast members on Snapped. We don't want
But
to
you
live
put
this.
yourself in that situation.
No,
though.
no,
Living
no.
in truth is getting rid of that extra piece
Yeah, that would be.
and working it out with your wife. That's living in the present truth.
I'm glad when I was out there, I didn't come to y'all for advice.
You did come to me.
A sounding board.
Yeah, and that's why I said I would not be in that equation of Carlos agree with me, Unc agree with me, and shit.
Real. Look, I used to hang the phone though. Like, why the did I call him?
But yeah, I do agree with you. You should live in truth. You should live in truth.
Yeah,
but
I agree with
in
that part,
regards
too.
to telling them to tell their wives and confess, that is up to them to do. I would just tell them to get rid of that extra and work it out with their wives. And whatever they feel that working out is, that's up to them.
So what if working it out is keeping a side piece?
No, I said I would tell. Well, then they didn't take
They
my
have bad judgment.
Yeah, they didn't
They got
take my
bad
advice
judgment.
because
Yeah.
I would say get rid of the side piece.
Right.
I would tell them get rid of that
Yeah.
and work it out at home.
Yeah.
So you don't think that's good advice?
Whatever y'all say.
So you wouldn't tell them nothing?
Listen, if my friend come to me and say, hey, I stepped out on my wife, this, that, and the other,
You just gonna say, and just not.
I'm not, it's not so much, it's more so like, man, you know right from wrong. I can't give advice. You know right from wrong, you know? If you feel it's right to step out on your wife, who am I to tell you it's wrong? If you feel it's wrong stepping out on your wife, who am I to tell you that it's wrong? At the end of the day, it's your life. You're going to do what you choose to do. Because there were times where me stepping out in relationships, I felt justified in doing it. Even though people would say it was wrong, there were times, and I know it's wrong, there was still times I felt justified in my actions. And if a person feels justified in their actions, then guess what?
But it's not about being justified. It's about whether it's right or wrong. And just like you said, you knew that it was wrong, but you felt
So
justified
I did it.
in
The
doing
justification
it. Right. You
led
felt
me
that.
to do it.
But you still knew that it was wrong.
But I justified the
Right.
act.
I get that. But you still knew that it was wrong. So
They-
I would highlight the wrong. Whatever you feel justified to do or the justification to do it, that's on you. I can only tell you
What's wrong?
what's wrong.
I'm not
based
even going to
on
tell you that.
what we both
Really?
believe, because we both would be believing that stepping outside of your marriage is wrong.
Totally agree.
So yeah, I would just tell you that. So
Yeah.
we wrapping this up. What's
No.
last word of advice, Kendrick, you got for the people?
Man, if your whoever come to you for advice, I think you should stay quiet if you can, you know. not every situation deserves your advice.
I agree. Carlos?
You know, just don't put your face or your talking in other people's relationships, and just know that when you confide in people that, you know, you are opening the door to, you know, other people having a say in your relationship. So
Agree.
Yeah.
Yep. If friend go tell spouse
don't do it.
what you said,
Don't do it.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but
Spouse,
yeah,
don't come to me.
Kendra gave the best advice. If
That'd
you
be a new
cannot
podcast.
give the advice to your friend, try to stay out of it. But
True.
if you do
Yeah.
believe that you have to give that advice, give them the advice based on what is right and not your perception of what is right,
Right.
but what is right without an unbiased feeling towards either person.
Yeah.
And we done. All right,
Boom.
then. Peace.